This is a quote from an LGBT activist in South Africa. Yes. Um, can't pronounce the name. But I'll try. Zanele Mupoli. And they said, if I wait for someone else to validate my existence, it will mean that I'm shortchanging myself. And that is um, something that I used as inspiration when I decided to start QTTT. Um, and let's talk about why I decided to start QTTT. So I saw that a lot of LGBT-centered spaces, especially here, aren't designed with the inclusion of kids and teens in mind. They aren't very family friendly. And this isn't, it's understandable for various reasons. Some including the fact that a lot of queer people locally aren't afforded the same rights and legal protections as non-queer people, and so a lot of, they can't start their families, and so as we don't have adoption rights and such, etc., etc. locally, a lot of queer people don't have children, and around the world where queer people have children and bring them to Pride and bringing them to Pride events, those Pride events have had to become much more family friendly and kid and teen accessible as a result. But we don't really have that here, and so Pride is more catered to a mature audience. Also, um, we live in, well, the Caribbean generally is not very tolerant of LGBT plus people, and so a lot of young people aren't open about their identities, and so basically there has not necessarily been a need for a need for queer people to, for older queer people, sorry, to open up those pride spaces for the to open up those pride spaces to welcome younger LGBT people, specifically kids and teens. And so that's kind of why I thought I saw the need for a space centering teens and where teens could interact, and so as to not have to deal with the older, the more mature kind of, it's a kind of old people vibe. Like Pride locally is a kind of old people vibe. Um, but yeah, this is not to discourage you from interacting with other local LGBT orgs. Um, is there are a lot of pride orgs locally that I do think are doing good work. I could name a few. 3TC, which is the TT Trans Coalition, the Trinidad and Tobago Transgender Coalition, and they do good work, as well as Pride TT. Um, Pride TT is having, well, okay, Pride locally, Pride in Trinidad and Tobago it occurs later than global Pride, and so June is Pride Month globally, and that's, well, because of the, in commemoration of the Stonewall riots and the first Pride. But locally we celebrate Pride a bit later, so it's from the end of June into the beginning of July. And so Pride TT is the organization that is responsible in, it's majorly responsible for um, organizing Pride locally, and they they have, this year their theme is Power Who, and it's about empowering women and femme people. And it's coming up soon. I'll post more about it later on our stories, and I will tag them so you can like go follow them, check out their pages. That's another thing. Pride groups locally don't reach out necessarily to LGBT, and so a lot of us don't know about their work. We don't know how to access the things. They're not aimed at us. They don't target us, and so this is also a kind of, how to put it, a go between. And so me telling you about these things might might be the first time that you hear about it, and is important that we know about the queer spaces that exist in our country. But yeah, there are a lot of um LGBT orgs, and I'll post them. I'll post a story and I'll tag all of them that I know of. So y'all could go follow them. So look out for that later on our Instagram. If you're not following our Instagram, you should go follow our Instagram. Um, but yeah, I'm not too sure why we celebrate Pride later here, but we do. So um yeah. And they have 30 days. They have 30 days of Pride going on locally. This is Pride TT again. So a Lavender Affair is when that's like a thing that used to happen a long time ago, not now, but it was when two gay people of opposite genders, so a gay man and a lesbian, would marry each other, and they would present to society as like a heterosexual couple, and they would they would they would like but they wouldn't be together. And they could like, and like nobody would like suss them out and be like, "Ooh, you gay," and like like D&D was slash is still illegal here, but it was illegal in the US and stuff. And so they had vice squads that used to like go find gay people at like gay bars and strip clubs and stuff. And so basically, Lavender Affairs were queer people's ways of protecting themselves and each other. And so I've been asking Malik when we finish, so the Romeo clause is illegal. It's like a law in our laws. Basically the age of consent locally is 18, right? And so yeah, we know what the age of consent is. It's 18. But people over 16 can engage in sexual relationships, I guess, with people who are under 3 years older than them, with like based on the Romeo clause. That's what the Romeo clause is about. Romeo and Juliet, whatever, whatever. But that excludes people of the same sex. And so, I mean, same sex sexual intercourse is illegal here still. We did have a law, legal battle against the government in 2018 by Mr. Jason Jones. He contested the buggery laws, which those are the colonial laws that have been here since we were a colony of the UK. That's against sexual intercourse. It's against anal sex. That's the buggery laws, and so he contested those in court, and they were deemed unconstitutional by well, the case was made. Basically the laws were illegal, which is stupid because how are laws would be illegal? But yeah, and so they're supposed to decriminalize buggery, but they haven't done it yet. So same-sex sexual intercourse of all kinds in this country is still illegal up to today. That's my facts for now. I'm gonna stop talking now. So yes, you can follow us on Instagram at queer.teens.tt. You could tell your friends to follow us. You could bring them next week. You could forward the emails to them when you get them if you'd like. I work very hard on those emails, and I have C-sec. So when I'm supposed to be C-second, I'm emailing. So that's simple of me. Oh yeah, y'all could feel free to DM us on Instagram or send us an email if you want to talk about anything, if you have any questions about anything, if you want to request something, or if you would like to know something. I do have a lot of queer centered knowledge, as I shared for no reason a bit earlier. And if you have any questions, you can ask them now. Any questions about QTTT, not not my business or everybody else's business. But yeah, that's more or less it. Um, so if you want to ask questions now, the floor is
I
open.
want to ask a general question as well. Kind of related, kind of related, but I want to hear your opinion, not opinion, general life about how COVID has affected you personally and affected your idea, I guess, in making this community for us.
Oh, okay. Well, I when I got the idea, I just did it immediately because I'm that kind of spontaneous person. And the reason I got the idea is because I was gonna force my street friends to go to ritual Pride with me, the same Pride I was talking about earlier with Pride TT. Um, but then I thought that I thought that Pride TT's Pride wasn't gonna be palatable to them, and we would just have a bunch of old people, and they would be kind of put off from like supporting me further and like coming to Pride with me in the future and whatever. And so I was like, oh, let me do this thing where it's just like my people, and not old versions of my people, but my people in reality, my people around my age that will have similar experiences to me and will be able to relate. And yeah, COVID, well, I mean, because of COVID, routing is virtual, and so this is easier than not us not being in a global pandemic and maybe us meeting in person or something like that, which would have been crazy, beyond crazy. And it's just opened up a lot of opportunities for meeting specifically virtually. And I don't think I would have thought about creating a virtual space for 13s before COVID. So I think that's how that impacted this. Yeah. Anything else? Or did I answer your question? Is it sufficient?
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, that's
Okay,
a great
nice.
explanation.
Thank you.
For the
Anything
next
else?
meeting, would we be using the same link?
Yeah, link remains the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Organized. So I'm stealing that. I just want to know what y'all want to do next week. Y'all want to watch a movie next week? Y'all want to learn queer history next week? Just say and do it. Y'all want to like go to any chat or something? I don't know.
I think like the movie would be the best option for Joel's sake because
Go ahead. Yeah.
What's the age appropriateness level of the movies?
It
Just
had
curious.
to be age appropriate. It had to be like a 13 plus kind of vibes. Yeah. Because I was
because
considering.
y'all were
Yeah.
call me by your name, and I was
No,
like,
no, no.
doesn't
I
that
said
have
we can't
a
watch it. Yeah, we can't watch Cold Mining. We can't watch Moonlight. We can't watch all the good ones. But yeah.
You just said that the movie is only good because it had. Okay.
Yo, we have less than a minute. Anything else?
Same time next meeting, same time next week.
Yeah,
How does this
same
work?
time next week. Yeah, same time next week. Same day, everything. But y'all will get emails. I'll keep updating y'all. I have nothing to do. No CSEC. I'll just keep sending y'all.
What do you mean you have nothing to do? We have exams in 2 weeks. Come on, now, bestie. Come on.
I
Tomorrow.
will
Starting from tomorrow.
Instead of school. I will do it instead of school. So yeah. Y'all will get email at 7:30. I scheduled one to send to y'all with info so y'all could suggest movies, suggest things to do. If you know an older queer person like from Instagram or something from Trinidad, send me their Instagram, and like if you want to hear from them, I'll try to get in contact with them. I think that's the best I could do. I love you all. Bye. Thanks for coming. We're gonna end soon. I tried to talk as swiftly as